My earliest memory that I have was being shown pornography of me as a toddler, then also to being taken to different brothels, childhood sexual abuse, having buyers, people who exchanged money to have time with my body, individuals coming to my home, into my house to use me.
In part 1 and 2 of this series, you have been introduced to Jessa Dillow Crisp and the many claims of abuse she has made describing her growing up in allegedly horrific circumstances. And if you listen to those 2 videos carefully, you have also probably come to realize that these claims are untrue. But what you might notice is that in all these clips, and even if you have started to do a little investigation for yourself, she doesn't usually mention a lawsuit that was filed in 2016 in which she was Jane Doe number 2 and alleged that she was raped by 2 men. This action by her is why I discovered her entire story, because I have been investigating the claims made in this lawsuit for the past 2 years. In this video, we will look at those allegations and a shocking new one she made in 2022 in a People magazine interview. In 2015, a disgruntled group of people got together, started seeking out plaintiffs, and with the help and encouragement of an online campaign, filed a suit against the Institute in Basic Life Principles, or IBLP, and Bill Gothard in hopes of destroying the ministry and its founder. That is another whole story, so I'm going to jump right to Jessa's allegations in this lawsuit and address them. Jessa became Jane Doe by petitioning the court claiming the abuse she suffered as a child and that her evil family would try to retaliate against her if she entered the lawsuit under her real name. Her petition, filed in January of 2016, was granted by the judge, and therefore she entered the lawsuit as Jane Doe number 2. Her claims were that in 1994, she was raped by a counselor in his office at the Indianapolis Training Center, or ITC, which was an IBLP youth facility that housed juvenile delinquents and other troubled young people in an effort to rehabilitate them. She further claims that she reported this assault to the staff, and repeatedly so, for the entire year following the incident. But there is a huge problem with this claim. In 1994, Jessa was only 6 or 7 years old. The ITC facility did not take youth that age. The youngest people allowed to participate in that program were aged 12, and most were older than that. This would also dispel the claim that she reported this assault to the staff for the entire year following, because she could not have been staying there at age 7. No one that age was allowed to live at ITC. Additionally, after talking to several staff members who worked there at the time, the alleged perpetrator, some who were people staying at the facility at the time, this man did not counsel anyone under 12 years old and also never was with young people in private during counseling sessions. According to all these people, he did not conduct sessions behind closed doors or in isolation. So this claim is clearly not true for several reasons. Her next claim is interesting. She is the only person ever to claim she was raped by Bill Gothard. This claim was used in Shiny Happy People, the anti-Christian propaganda piece released on Amazon Prime in June of 2023.
There was one woman who accused Bill Gothard of rape.
This claim of hers is also commonly cited by Bill Gothard's critics in online articles and the media as proof that Bill Gothard was and still is a devious and evil predator.
There is an allegation in the lawsuit, I truly believe with 100% of my heart, and it was real, that he did rape somebody. That is an allegation. I'm not going to talk about it. That's her story.
There needed to be actual terms used, harassment. I don't know if I could say the R word on YouTube, but assault, sexual assault, these things happened, and they had to be acknowledged that they were actual crimes.
Her claims in the lawsuit do not specify a time or date of this alleged assault, not even what year it supposedly occurred. Jessa must have realized that her story would be thoroughly investigated by the defense if she stayed in the lawsuit. So before the second complaint was filed, she dropped out. This made the defense disregard her claims and work on researching the other claims in the lawsuit, which is one of the reasons Jessa's deceptions have not yet been discovered. Had she continued as a plaintiff, she surely would have been found out and her real background revealed. But Jessa was not done accusing IBLP and the ITC. When the coast seemed to be clear a few years later, she struck again. In a 2022 interview in People magazine, Jessa made a completely new allegation against the IBLP facility in Indianapolis, a claim that was not included or mentioned at all in the 2016 lawsuit. Here's an excerpt from that interview. As she got older, she says her family often took her across the border into the U.S., where she was sold on a circuit. When she was 17, she was dropped off at a hotel in Indianapolis, where she was labor trafficked by day, cleaning the hotel, and sex trafficked at night. So her claim here is that in 2004, ITC was part of a circuit or network that sex trafficked children in the U.S., and that her parents, fully aware of this, dropped her off to be labor trafficked by day and sex trafficked by night. I have listened to nearly every interview and speech Jessa has given and read every article. This is the only time I have found that she publicly made this claim. To research this allegation, I found the director of the facility at the time and had a lengthy discussion about how the logistics of the youth program worked there. I also discussed this with another man who was in charge of security at the time, and he explained that the facility was especially secure due to the nature of the juveniles staying there. I also talked to several people who worked there in other capacities and people who lived there at the time, and some who even knew Jessa. They all say this is an outrageous and completely false claim. Those who knew Jessa also said she had been making up stories for a long time and was known for it, which made some of their interactions with her rather difficult. She was especially angry with her father. One of the problems any organization has when trying to help young people who have been in juvenile courts or having difficulties at home is that the young people will commonly make up stories of abuse in order to retaliate against those who are trying to help them. This, of course, has to be taken seriously and investigated because abusive things can happen. In my research, I found a document where false allegations were filed by angry youth against ITC, which had nothing to do with sex trafficking. No other person out of the thousands that participated at ITC has ever made that kind of claim that Jessa has made, alleging they were sex trafficked out of that facility or any other IBLP facility for that matter. But other claims made by juveniles at ITC did instigate a thorough investigation by the state and a review by the Marion County prosecutor, which found the allegations of abuse to be completely unfounded and unsubstantiated. The city of Indianapolis passed a resolution that was unanimously approved by the council, expressing regret for any embarrassment and financial loss endured by the false allegations and acknowledged the good work ITC was doing to help troubled juveniles in their county. Further, I researched police records, old newspaper articles, and even requested Freedom of Information Act documents to see if there was any clue or report of any claim of sex trafficking out of ITC. There was none. So, not only are her claims of sex trafficking by her parents false claims, but her claims in the 2016 lawsuit filed against IBLP and Gothard are also false. So, I ask that you pray for Jessa as I have been doing. Pray that she will come to the truth and do the right thing. Next time, Jessa was adopted as an adult by a Christian author who innocently believed her tales and promoted her false story in the Christian community. We'll talk about that next time. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment below. Your participation in this way helps to spread these videos to more people. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you here next time.